Good afternoon. Welcome. Today is Sunday, June the 20th. I want to welcome you to this afternoon's demonstration. My name is Barbara Ragsdale, and I am an independent demonstrator that lives in the San Antonio, Texas area. And I am here, hi Veronica, live every Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. to show you what you can do with your Stampin' Up! Products. And if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up!, we're a paper crafting company, and we cater to all levels of crafters, and we have a huge variety of products. Hi Darla, in our catalogs, and we have a couple of catalogs right now. Hi Susan. And if you're wondering why I'm saying hi to everybody, it's because I'm live on Facebook. So if you're watching me live, you probably see a live in one of the top corners. And if you don't see a live, you're probably watching the replay either on Facebook or you're watching me on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Veronica, for sharing. I felt like I had something on the front of my tooth, but I didn't. Hey, Stella. Hi, Frida. Welcome, ladies. But yes, I'm here to inspire, create, and share with you everything, all things Stampin' Up. We'll just say that, all things Stampin' Up, because that is Stampin' Up's tagline, is to inspire, create, and share. And I love more than anything showing you guys how to use the product. Hi, Lisa. And oh my gosh, I hope wherever you are, y'all are staying cool. Y'all have noticed I've had my hair pulled back a lot lately. It's starting to grow out. It's through that funky stage where I want to keep it down, but it doesn't stay styled down. And then it's not a full ponytail like I don't want it to be. So anyway, my hair's going through a change right now. But that does not keep me from stamping. That will never keep anybody from their crafting. So, and actually this is the perfect time to be inside crafting, where it's cool, you got a fresh drink, there's air conditioned, but yes, but welcome. Thank you for joining me, and we'll go ahead and get started. Got a lot of little announcements. Y'all know we like to get announcements out of the way because there's so much to share with when it comes to Stampin' Up, and things change all the time. So we'll go ahead and get this flipped around, and we'll do a drawing. I'll talk about all that. So let's get this flipped around, and then let me pull this down a little bit so I can see some comments and see when people join. Everything looks like it's a little off to me this week. There we go. I think that'll stay. I think that'll stay. So welcome. When you come on, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from if you haven't already shared that before. We all like to see where everybody's watching from. And we'll go ahead and do the drawing. Let me get the drawing out of the way and explain what we do with the drawing. So every single week, when you come on, when you like, if you comment, and if you share, that gets you onto the wheel for that week's drawing. And when you share, you get 2 entries. Sharing does a couple of things. It shows the video to more people. It shares with your friends and your family. You share the Stampin' Up! Inspiration. You also help me with my business because it gets me more out there and more people are watching. More people can join us and join in. It's all the fun craftiness that goes on a Sunday afternoon over here. And I appreciate it. Plus it gets you an extra entry onto the wheel. So keep that in mind. And every single Sunday, the projects that I give away, the projects that I do, that I demonstrate, that's what I give away. And so last week, if you joined, we cased the catalog using the Sweet Symmetry suite. So I love this suite. I know I might have mentioned it last week, but a couple of years ago we had another suite called the Bloom in Bloom, or Bloom a Bloom, or something like that. And this suite reminds me so much of it. And that other one was my favorite one. So this is going to be my new favorite. Yeah. So we're going to give away these 2 cards. Everybody that liked, commented, and shared is already on the wheel. And let me get this flipped back around. Let's go ahead and spin this. We even have theatrics. And good luck. Who is it? It's Roberta. Roberta, I hope I pronounced your last name right. Stashel. And I don't know if Roberta's watching right now. I don't see, but that does not mean anything. I could have missed a name somewhere. But congratulations, Roberta. I think I have your address. I'm almost certain I do, but if I don't, I'll just reach out to you through direct message and get it. But you won the 2 cards that we made last week, so congratulations. Let me put this aside. That's how you win. That's how you win. All you have to do is like, comment, and share, and if you share, you get 2 entries in there. Okay, let's go through some really quick reminders. I always say quick, but I always end up talking about 15 minutes. But if this is your first time watching, you might not have known all this Stampin' Up! News that's going on. So let me go ahead and share that with you. Right now, we have a last chance. We are June the 20th, so we have 10 more days before this little mini catalog, this January to June 2021 mini catalog. Everything that's in here that is set to retire, which there's a lot of stuff set to retire. It is on the last chance list. And when I'm done with the video, all of the links that I'm going to be talking about these things will be in the details. So you can click on it, go straight to my website, shop, till you drop. I will tell you that things are 10% off all the way up to 50% off. And don't forget, as demonstrators, this is a perk of being a demonstrator, which really just means you bought the kit. You get your discount plus whatever discounts are listed on here. So while most people can be shopping at 10 to 50% off, demonstrators will be shopping anywhere between 30 to 35 up to 85% off. Is that not crazy? That's the joy. Stampin' Up! Gives us the discounts, our own demonstrator discount on top of clearance items, promotions, you name it. That's a huge benefit. This is only through June the 30th, so you want to make sure you go check out the last chance list, and there's still some really good things on there. And then just a reminder, when you join my email list, you're going to get a free PDF tutorial, and you'll get a complimentary copy of the new annual catalog. And if you're an active demonstrator and or already have somebody that gives you a catalog, I have a different special gift for you just for joining my email list. But you can sign up for the newsletter, blog updates, whatever it might be. That's what you're going to get when you sign up for my email. Plus other promotions and Paper Pumpkin, the whole 9 yards, anything Stampin' Up. We also have a kits collection that's available online. So let me just put the new Paper Pumpkin right here. So if you're not already a subscriber and maybe you want to try something different with our kits, you can go onto our website. And we have an entire kits collection. There's 2 different styles. There's a style called stamping and non-stamping, depending on your preference, or if you're having a party or some kind of little social get-together. These kits are only available online. They will be changing frequently, and they're always going to be while supplies last. Some of these are past Paper Pumpkin kits, like this kerchief kit, I think that's what the name of it was. That was like a free celebration kit from like a couple of years ago or last year, I can't remember, but it was very recent. But these kits are going to have everything that you need, just like Paper Pumpkin, that you need in order to complete them. So go check those out, and the prices are very reasonable too. And then our Paper Pumpkin subscription started June the 11th and goes all the way through July 10th, sorry. And it's called The Adventure Begins. And this next kit is going to contain enough supplies to create 12 cards and coordinating envelopes. And look at all of those coordinating colors. Stampin' Up! Really does take all the guesswork out of coordinating when it comes to colors and things like that. And you're going to see that with today's designer series paper and the cardstock that I'm going to be using. And by the way, if you see all those colors, I just want to remind you that my Paper Pumpkin subscribers get free coordinating cardstock cuts every single month that change with whatever the monthly kit is. And that's just a free thank you as being a Paper Pumpkin subscriber of mine. So the link will also be in the description. And then I also have in a couple of days the blog post for this Stamp Into Summer promo will be activated, and you'll be able to go to my blog spot and read all about this. But basically it's going to be a summer promotion that I'm going to be running that starts June 22nd through August the 2nd, which is the day before the new mini catalog comes out. So August 3rd, the new mini catalog comes out. So how exciting is that? And this is a promotion where you can earn entries based on everything that I have listed here. Ordering, sharing, recommending, writing reviews, joining my Paper Pumpkin, classes, it surrounds classes. There's even a bonus if you register for my October retreat. And you'll all be able to do this through my blog site. So in a couple of days, I'll publish that page so that you can see this and then all the details that are associated with my Stamp Into Summer promotion. And this digital download is still available. I think we've passed the day where it was like the whole day, World Diversity Day, I think. I could be wrong, but I know this digital download is still available. So if you're looking for a free download where it has different pictures and sentiments in different languages in all the markets that Stampin' Up! Is a part of, you can still go to the website and do this download. It's color and it's free. It's 14 pages long, I think 13. The first page is like instructions, but after that it's like pictures and little sentiments in different languages representing all of the countries that we are in. So make sure you go check it out. And then here's another one that kind of represents, it's like a frame. And if you want to get brave and do some coloring with that, I think I've seen a few people that have actually colored that particular one. And then I just want to remind you, if you see anything that you like during today's demonstration, or you want to place an order for, if you have a wish list or something in mind, I do have an online ordering special. Up here in the top right hand corner is my host code for this month. And if you go to my website and you use this host code for the month of June, you're going to get a free cut kit in order to make this cute little mini Paper Pumpkin box that also has these 4 coordinating cards. They're note card size, which is just slightly smaller than our standard cards. And then you got that one right there. All of the supplies are cut for you, die cut for you, punched, embossed. You get your accessories, which is the ribbon and any of the enamel dots. I just can't do any of the stamping. And the kit, the free kit, features the Biggest Wish stamp set and the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper. So everything will come already cut for you and ready to go. And then you'll get emailed the color PDF tutorial and the link to the video that shows you how to assemble everything if you're a more visual person. I'm a visual person. But this is for the month of June, and every single month my monthly online ordering specials change, and all it takes is an order of $25 or more. Orders of $50 or more, you're going to get a free spool of the Flirty Flamingo metallic ribbon. I'll throw that in there. So yeah, there's a good opportunity to get some free things just for ordering with me. So let's put that aside, and then let's show you what we're going to be using today. I got my dies in. I had already had my my stamp set, but my dies came a couple of days ago, so I was able to put something together. But we're going to be using the Sweet as a Peach bundle. And let's see. Let me open it up in the catalog. Since it's on 61. If you have your annual catalogs, the spread is going to be on page 60 to 61. Look at all of those colors. They're gorgeous. They're not quite bright. They're not quite completely subtle, but they're just gorgeous. Look at all these colors together. And the Euro Peach Suite actually comes in a suite, a bundle. You can get everything separate. This is the stamp set bundle called Sweet as a Peach bundle. The bundle itself is $36.75 and comes with the stamp set. And then also comes with, I think I have all of them back in there. Yeah, there's a die set that coordinates and die cuts out a lot of these images. And then you have some extra little fun images as dies as well. But that's the bundle. And then the suite is also going to have the bundle that I just showed you. Plus, let me fan out this designer series paper. You get 12 by 12 designer series paper of all of this. There's 2 pages of each one. Look at how fun this designer series paper is. That'll be one side. And then because our designer series paper is double-sided, you've got this whole other side here. And if you like scrapbook page layouts, I did a layout a couple of weeks ago using this designer series paper. So if you want to go check that out, you can go check out those 2 videos. But we're going to be using this designer series paper. That's what comes with the suite. And then if you notice, there's also, they call them mini jam jars, which I just happen to have one right here that I had gotten at a retreat. There's a mini jam jar. Actually, that's not the jar. I don't think that's the jar. I think I just showed something wrong there. Hold on. I went to go get my little box of jars because I'm like, I don't think that's the jar, but I could be wrong. So let me open up the box itself. There we go. These are the jars, you guys. That jar we got at the retreat was not what came with Stampin' Up. But these are the jars. And let me see if I have something that I can put up against that'll give you an idea of how big they are. I don't know that I can. But here is our inkers. This is what our re-inkers look like. So it's almost the height of a re-inker. And then when it comes to, I guess the circumference, you can tell it's big. It is, let me just get my little ruler out. Well, I don't know where my ruler went, but let me see. It measures about 2 inches. I just looked on my grid paper. It measures about 2 inches by 2.5 inches tall. So it's pretty good. It is made out of plastic though, so you can't put anything hot or boiling, or if you put anything else in there, you just want to make sure that it is not corrosive because it will melt through the plastic. But these are the mini jam jars. And look how cute they decorated them in the catalog. Those would be cute gifts. And then they decorated it with designer series paper on the top. And then all of the colors that coordinate with it, we're looking at Calypso Coral, Pale Papaya, Mango Melody, Bumblebee, Pear Pizzazz, and Balmy Blue. But we're going to be using this bundle today and also the designer series paper. We're not going to do the mini jam jars, but what I want to show you is how we can make 3 different cards. We're going to make, we'll just start with this one and then I'll show all of them later. But give me a minute here. We're going to make a card that is what we refer to as simple stamping. There literally is just one layer on here. It is stamps, inks, and paper, and that is it. There is nothing fancy about this. The only thing I did do was a little bitty technique so that I could put those two peaches up against each other and not have the images overlap, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's get started. All I have is a basic white base. So we're going to fold that in half. This is a standard 8.5 by 5.5 base. And then our mat is 4 by 5.25. Just a standard mat that mats on. But before we attach it, we're going to be stamping on this. Okay, so what we are using, we're going to be using Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to leave all of these open because I'm going to be using them, and hopefully I won't get ink on everything. But we've got Pear Pizzazz, we're using Calypso Coral, and then we also have one of the new in colors, Pale Papaya. Okay, so let's do this. Let me get my... We're going to be stamping this leafy image. This one and this image, got a little dimensional backing on that, go together. Okay, so in order to do this, you can stamp either one first, but I prefer to do the greenery. So we're going to stamp the greenery up here in the top left-hand corner with Pear Pizzazz. Okay, just at a little angle right there. It's going to go directly onto the cardstock. And then I have these 3 peaches that I'm going to stamp first in Pale Papaya, but I want it to have a little bit more color of Calypso Coral. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp first. I've already cleaned my stamp. We're going to stamp first in Pale Papaya, and let me see if I can bring this up. Actually, let me show you a... Well, I can't show you that because I'm using that next. On your image, let me just go ahead and stamp. Let me go ahead and stamp it in Pale Papaya on this piece right here, so I can bring this up and show you a little bit. But on your image itself, you've got these little bitty grooves on the top of each peach. Okay, so those grooves, that's what I'm going to be lining up to the images, the end of these little bitty greenery images. So it looks like these are hanging off of this vine or this stem, these stems. Okay, so I'm inking that up with Pale Papaya, and then you can see, because these are photopolymer, which I love, you can see exactly where you're going to be stamping. Okay, so those go right there on that piece right there. So you can see, once I bring this up, you can see that it actually lines up so that you get it pretty close or right on it. Okay, but I want a little bit more color, and I used the lighter color first, and you can certainly go clean your stamp, but I'm not, you know, it doesn't really bother me, so I'm going to stamp this in Calypso Coral, and it's going to be really dark if I go ahead and stamp on right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap that, and I'm going to tap it a little bit over here and then come back and go right over it. Just line it up. There you go. So it makes it a little bit darker, gives it some shadow. Okay, that Calypso Coral and Pale Papaya really do go well together. Okay, so now I'm going to do the peaches down here at the bottom. So let's get the peaches, and what we're going to do is, I think I did the left one first. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that one. I did the left one first. Going to stamp it. Okay, and then let me get some of this, tap it off a little, and then go right back over this. See if I can line up where I'm not in the camera. Okay, so I've got a little bit more color. And then I die cut out on a sheet of paper. It has to be really, really thin. It could be a sheet of paper or it could be a Post-it note, but I die cut out one of the peaches. All I need is the outline. And what I want to do is I want to stamp another peach off to the side. But what's going to happen is if I don't cover up this piece right here, you're going to see, if I stamp this and then stamp it down, you're going to see in this little area where the images are going to overlap. This is just called a masking technique. I've done it before. It is super simple. So if you want two images or you're trying to cover up one part of an image, then you want to do the masking technique. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this little piece of paper right over, and you want to line it up exactly, or have it just short of the end there. Okay, so once that's on there, then you can stamp your other image off to the side. Give it just a little pressure. Bring it up. Stamp your other image. Tap that off, and then we go right over that. I think I got it lined up. Give it some pressure. And then when you peel this part off, then you have these two images that are side by side, but the images aren't overlapping. Okay, that's how you do that. And then I have these little two leafy images. Gonna ink that up with some Pear Pizzazz and line those up to where it looks like it's coming out of the top of the peach. Ink it back up again and do the other one. There we go. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment off over here to the right. And we're going to stamp the sentiment in Calypso Coral. And it's just going to say, have a peachy day. Let me move these stamps out of the way. Okay, so now we have this. And we're just going to mount this directly on our basic white base. This is referred to as simple stamping. Stamps, ink, and paper. There's also a little virtual class that I have that's called that as well. It's called SIP, Stamps, Ink, and Paper. But there you have it. There's card number 1, just showing you that, you know, if you can't get the dies or you don't want the dies and you just want to deal with the images themselves with some ink and paper, that you can still make a pretty cute card using that. Very, very simple. This is something that we would recommend for a beginner just because you're getting all your stamping out of the way and you're learning a little bit of a technique. Okay, so there's card number 1. And then card number 2, we're going to step it up just a little bit. It almost looks like the same card, but it's not, because we have some die cuts. We're going to be combining the stamping with some die cuts. So we're just going to add on die cuts is all we're going to do. And then there's a little technique I want to show you about the happy birthday. So let's do that one. Got all my pieces here. So let's go ahead and fold our base. Now with our bases, you can certainly use a colored base. But if you use a colored base, you'll want to put a white piece on the inside. All 3 of these cards I used basic white as my base. But on this one, I'm going to add a layer too. So in addition to some die cutting and using our Stampin' Dimensionals, we're going to add a layer of color to this. Now with this particular card, you've got a few choices. You can use, I'm using Calypso Coral, and we're just going to attach this to the front of our card. Now we'll tell you, if you're making this card and you have something that you're going to put on the inside, as with all of our cards, you'll want to stamp the inside and then stamp the back if you have a personalized stamp before you start adding things to the front, in case you mess up. Then you can flip the card over, flip it backwards, and be able to hide things basically. Okay, so let me get this, and then we're going to stamp directly on where we need to stamp. And let me get my chamois. Let me just start with some fresh colors. But we're going to stamp our peach down here, one of them. So we're going to stamp one peach. There we go. And with photopolymer, I just happen to have a really hard surface underneath. But if you have a desk that gives a little, you'll want to make sure that you use a foam mat underneath. Okay, but for me, I generally don't have to. And then let me ink up with Calypso Coral and stamp it off. Line up these images. Give it some pressure. The less that you stamp off, the more Calypso Coral that's going to stay on the image, the stamp itself, and then that'll transfer on there. So you could get different varieties depending on how much and hard you stamp off. Okay, now I already have an image that's been stamped and die cut, so we're just going to attach a dimensional on the back and put that kind of next to it. And then let me go ahead and add this one too. I'm going to use a combination of mini dimensionals and then a large dimensional just to help stabilize these leaves. Peel those off. Probably should have stamped first, but that's okay. I'm feeling lucky today. I'm feeling like it's gonna happen. I meant to stamp the sentiment over here, but if I mess up, I'll give away the other one that I did. Okay, so let's just put a dimensional on the back of that. Let's put that there. And then you have these 3 peaches. I'm going to put those on. These are popped up, so you can see where you need to line those up. You can use small ones or you can use big ones. Those big ones fill up the back pretty good. So I know that these peaches aren't going to come off. Okay, let's pull this to the front a little bit if we can. Here, let's see. See if I can pull this up. There we go. That way it's over the peach and not under the peach. And then I also did a couple of these little bitty die cuts. And we're going to use a glue dot just to hold that one down. Did I get one off? There we go. Let's get a... These are just simple little, these are just part of the die cuts. There's a couple of those that are available. And let me just get a glue dot on the back of that. And we're just going to add another little, just for funsies. And then let me get the Pear Pizzazz back. Now, the happy birthday stamp is long. Just like that. But when I stamped it on here, I stamped one piece on top of the other. So that's what I'm going to do. And all you have to do, you have a steady hand or you want to use the back of your Stampin' Right markers, because there's a pretty good space in between the happy and the birthday, I just inked up half of the stamp. And then let's stamp happy right there. I'm going to clean this. You want to clean it really, really good, and if you're worried that anything left is on there, you can just stamp off to make sure that nothing else is going to stamp off. And then do the other side. Do birthday. And because it's photopolymer, you can see exactly where ink is on your stamp. Okay, and then stamp right underneath it. Give it some pressure. and then you have happy birthday. Okay, cute. And then we'll get some adhesive on the back of this. And then we're going to add this to our base. And look at how all those colors come together. Simple, simple, simple. It's just the next step up, only because there's a little bit of die cutting. And you're learning how you can, you know, take a part of the sentiment. And if I didn't have enough space to stamp it long ways like it's designed, you can break up the sentiment and then stamp it basically wherever you want to stamp it. But there you have it. There's card number 2, designed for essentially, you know, an intermediate stamper, or somebody that just learned how to do die cutting. Die cutting is always fun. I know I went through a stage where, I'm just cleaning this real good, where I seem to be die cutting everything. Okay, so let's do card number 3. This is going to be for the much avid stamper. Let me look over here and see. Frida's watching from Tennessee. Awesome. Hi, Bev. Thank you for sharing, Bev. And Susan's on. Okay, I think I caught up, but if I missed anybody, I'll go back. This one will be for your advanced stamper, because you got a lot happening with this card. There's a lot happening with it. We have multiple layers. I didn't do any embossing on this. That's the only thing I didn't do, because I had done so many other things. But you've got multiple layers. You're doing stamping, die cutting. Move that out of the way. There is our blending brushes being used. We've got our vellum doilies are on here. We've got some Wink Stella. We threw some ribbon on. So yeah, there's a lot happening with this one. So let's get started on this one. Okay, got all my pieces here. Everything's already ready. We're just going to be assembling. So you can watch this one come together. But this one is definitely for an advanced stamper. So let's fold our base. Get our base out of the way, and so that I don't mess it up, I'm gonna go ahead and put down our Pear Pizzazz base, because this one's not tied to anything, okay? And I didn't just put these on, you know, straight. I kind of put them on at an angle. So this one kind of goes on at a little angle. There we go. And then we have we got a piece of Calypso Coral. I got a lot of little pieces going on here, you guys. But what we need to do is we need to do our brushing and stamping on this piece, and then everything else will come together after that. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have this piece of basic white. I'm going to be using our blender brushes. I'm going to be using Pale Papaya and also Calypso Coral. Okay, so on our Pale Papaya, I'm just going to start. I don't know at some point when y'all start to see color on there, but all I'm doing is I'm taking the Pale Papaya and the Calypso Coral. It's kind of light over here on my end. There we go. These blender brushes are just so smooth. What I'm doing is I'm just rubbing it in the middle part of the card. I'm not trying to cover the whole card. And I'm lightly tapping it on there so I don't have to worry about having globs of ink on the card. If you were starting on the edge, we would recommend to like start off the card and then work your way onto the card. But I'm just wanting some shadows back behind what I'm doing. And I started out with Pale Papaya. And then once I'm satisfied with the amount of shadow that I have, on my card, which I think that's okay. I think that one's good. We're going to start in with the Calypso Coral. So I have Calypso Coral. That one would be dark, so I am going to tap off and then go over what I went over. Give it a little kind of a blushy color on top of that. Okay. Has anybody already worked with blender brushes? If you have blender brushes, tell us how many blender brushes do you have while I'm blending this. I want to see who has the most blender brushes. I think I have 6 because I rotate them with lighter colors and I clean them really good right after I'm done. I think I have 6. And I know there's some of you out there that have like probably one in every color. There we go. That's all the blending I'm going to do. I won't go crazy with it. So let's see, but I know there's just a shadow. That's all I was trying to do, is just create some kind of a shadow in the background. And then I'm going to be putting on one of our vellum doilies. The vellum doilies are in white, and I want to make sure I'm putting adhesive on the right side. Let's see. And I'm just putting it on part of it. The part that's going to get covered up, essentially. Okay, and then this vellum doily goes this way. Yeah, because I have to save room for my sentiment. I'm going to do my sentiment next. We're going to stamp "Thanks so much," and we're going to stamp that in Pear Pizzazz down here in the bottom right hand corner. So let me go ahead and stamp that. Thanks so much. Gosh, they make it so easy. Okay, and then I'm going to put this onto my piece of Calypso Coral, and then we're going to put some ribbon around it. Okay, so that's like my next step. So let's mat this onto our Calypso Coral at an angle, so you can see a little bit of that Calypso Coral around the edge. And then we're going to put adhesive around the back of this. And you want to make sure that there's it's as close to the edge as you can get it over here, only because we're going to be using the Pale Papaya open weave ribbon. So let me cut a piece that's a little bit wider than this. There we go. Because this piece we're going to wrap around the front and then wrap it around the back there. Kind of just stretch it across the front. You want to make sure it attaches to that adhesive on the back. And then now we can add this to our card base at another angle, so you can see a little bit of that Pear Pizzazz right behind there. Okay, so we're getting there. And then now we have all these little die cut pieces. I got die cut pieces. I even cut out these little bitty flowers. So these little bitty die cut flowers that are here, there's several little sets in there. So I've got some of those on there as well. So we're just going to be building up this card. So let me put those on and take these off at the same time. This one is die cut. Let me find a large one for the bottom here. Go. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on. Go. And then let's get our large peaches, or the peaches that are on the vine here. Let's do that. That are still stuck to the tree. Put those on. Try to line those up. Got one more. That on there. go. Then we'll put our big ones on. I'm going to put this one on first, off to the right. And then this one to the left. And then we have our little greenery here. Put that there. And then we'll put the other one on, going in the opposite direction. Okay, now these are all the little flowers. So let me bring some of these little flowers off. I wanted to sprinkle some essentially on the bottom, just so that it has these little flowers. I'm trying to get these up. They're small. Well, at least the really small ones are. So I'm going to use our all-purpose glue to put these on. And I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue and then stick one of them on there. Just give it a little pressure. Put another one down here. Give it just a little bit of pressure. It'll stick once that glue is completely dry. Put a couple of them here. This just makes it look like some of the flowers that fell off of the tree fell onto the ground. Put another one right there. And I die cut these out in Bumblebee is what I used. We'll put another one down here in the corner. These are so tiny. Get that on there. I think I need another one. I only put 4 on that one. Let's put another one right here. Put a big one. Because I got so many of them. It makes like 9, I think, because there's 3 of them on each little bitty bundle. And then I put a couple of them right here. They're still essentially on the vine. Press that down. Put another one right next to it. Okay. And then we're gonna make our bow. Gonna make it on the spool so that we have minimal waste. Pull those a little tight. Take your ribbon scissors, trim your tails so they have a nice little even edge to them. And then we're going to attach this with a glue dot. I'm going to use a couple of glue dots just because I want to make sure this bow sticks. And we're going to put a bow right there in the center, but we're not done because I broke out the Wink of Stella. I wanted to give a little shine to our peaches on here. So we're going to use Wink of Stella, which is essentially glitter in a brush. I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure right here where it says push and just brush on our peaches. This glitter, no mask glitter, makes it so easy. It's got a nice little brush on the edge of it, so you can brush it wherever you want, highlight whatever you want, and the more you keep going over it, the shinier it gets, whatever you're doing. Okay, let me close up these inks because we are done with the inks. I used 3 colors. All I did was 3 colors: Pale Papaya, Pear Pizzazz, and Calypso Coral. And there you have it. That is going to be essentially an advanced card, just because there's so many steps going on in that one. And let me bring back the other 2. So you have your simple stamping, your medium or intermediate, and then you have your advanced, the one card for your advanced stamper. there you have it. Using the Sweet as a Peach bundle out of the annual catalog. So I hope you enjoyed today's demonstration. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you're inspired to do something with this stamp set if you haven't already. But I will tell you, June 22nd is when summer officially starts, at least according to Google. at least according to Google, that's when summer starts. But I am going to be, I'm actually putting the final touches on it right now. The summer sampler, I only do 4 a year, but it's one for every season. But we're about to start summer. And the summer sampler is going to be with the Sweet as a Peach bundle. So Wednesday, if you'd like to join me Wednesday, my Wednesday nights are reserved for 12 by 12 scrapbook page layouts, and I'll be premiering the sampler on that particular live, as well as the class in person and the class to go. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. Y'all make sure you stay hydrated, check on your elderly neighbors, outside pets. It's gonna get hot. It's already hot. But like I said, this is the perfect time to be inside, using up your crafting supplies and making pretty cards and projects to be able to send out and send smiles to everyone. So thank you. Y'all have a great rest of your afternoon and evening, and then I'm about to go and update the details with all of the links once the video is posted. All right, y'all have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll see you later. Bye.